Well, I don't know about you boys and girls, but that's a damn fine-looking Commissar. Certainly not modelled him off anyone that we know, IRL. Certainly not a self-insert or anything, but I always say that if you can have a large beard in a game, if the game lets you have one, then you may as well take one. We've made a Commissar, we've made him a fighter, we've given him a whole bunch of different attributes. I was just going to jump straight into the game. I didn't want to show too much of the character creation purely because it's not properly developed yet. We're in the beta at the moment, so there's not that many options available. And character creation probably isn't that very exciting to watch, so we're just gonna jump straight into it once the game loads. I've gone through the opening already just to make sure that I actually know what I'm doing, so it's less... Well, it's less me being confused, because I'm very easily confused. And, yeah. Look at him. Look at him go. Standing, looking around like he owns the place. What a Chad. Alright, so Conrad Vortigvigier, I'm going to call him Voy. An excellent place for contemplation. The man whose approach you gazes down into the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. One has the best views of the cathedral here, mesmerising, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. Oh yes, truly an awe-inspiring sight. That is the purpose of all the temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. But it is the duty of his servants to preserve in their tireless service until they are presented with a chance to give their very life for the master of humanity. Turn the tutorials off. We don't need them. Like I said, I've already done the tutorial. We don't need to... I'll explain things as we go on, because it'll be more interesting that way. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Conrad Voitigivier, Master of Whispers and the employee of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Fyodor von Valankius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. I'm a Divisional Commissar of the Officio Prefectus John Temple Zana 4? Whatever that is. Oh, my regards, Commissar. Finding you was a difficult task, given your parents' fate and your upbringing in the solar progenium. Truly, our meeting is an act of providence, is it not? All RPGs, your parents are dead. That's the general rule, isn't it? I'll be frank with you. You may have forgotten your family name, no matter who gave it to you or what your origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard the void ship, your fate has changed. You now serve Lord Captain Fyodora von Valankius and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honour. So apparently we're this woman's daughter, son, or distant relative or something like that. Yes, you have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? To put it plainly, I'm the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interest of House von Valankius, and cover weak links both among the Lady Feodora's retinue and the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others. It's a very versatile chap, that guy. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? So that you may fulfill your blood duty, John Temple. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader in deeds blessed by the God Emperor. I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understand correctly. Lady Feodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium. Your fate. Just crazy, because it's not a Commissar. Surely we're able to... From my understanding of Commissars, we're able to basically execute people on the spot, usually, regardless of their rank. But hey-ho, so I assume you have a goal in mind when you decide to seek me out. Let us address it. But of course, I've come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Feodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It's regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It's an arduous journey thus far. Lord Captain and Master Ethelrad von Valankius are conversing on the observation platform located in one of the wings of the officers' decks. Let's join them there. I shall accompany you. End dialogue. There we go. I'll be honest, the opening for this is quite wordy. There's lots of reading. I mean, the aesthetics... We're not going to walk after you, we're just going to sprint ahead. But yeah, I mean, the music, atmosphere, just general vibes and stuff is quite good. Can we press this button? Always press the buttons. Data information. Our intelligence for this character isn't very high. I've built him up to be more combat orientated, with the ability to bring in some intimidation. That's what commas are. We're meant to punch people and shout at them. Make them feel small and insignificant. Master Whispers, it's an emergency. The esteemed Lord Captain's pet has broken the bolts of its cage and escaped. Madness! What kind of pet is that? Oh, by the way, like I say, beta, the frame rate's not all that great in some sections. But yeah, start the battle. So it's like, if you've ever played XCOM, or you played that Grey Knights game that came out a couple of years ago, it's very similar to that. But if you've played any turn-based RPG game, it's more or less the same. We've got 2 bars here. We've got a movement thing, and then we've got an action point thing, so our movement and actions are different. So I am currently only equipped with a wee pistol. So I'm going to stand next to this dude, and I'm going to fire. In fact, actually, I'm going to... Let's give them hell. An ability of the Commissar, anyone that I attack... Yep. Amazing. We're not... Well, close combat orientated. We're not shooty bang people. But yeah, that ability, like, marks the opponent and... like, makes it easy for other people to kill him. I think... I'll double check. Now that guy's dead. I scarcely believe it on a day like this. What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. A wild beast breaks free on the officer's deck at exactly the moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. Without taking his eyes off the dead beast, Voy removes the Voxcaster from his belt and speaks a few quick orders into the device, then turns to you. I've blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If there is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plans. Continue. Cool. So, there's that. Got boys coming in. Clad in blue and white. Spread out. No one is allowed to enter the premises. Stations. I'm afraid I must remain here, John Temple, for Lady Theodora's safety. I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will not have difficulty reaching the observation platforms on your own. It's just at the end of the corridor. Master Whispers gives you a curt bow. Yeah, so what does that ability do? Yeah, next combat is a single shot or single target melee attack. Has the following effects: target enemy becomes marked. The ally who killed the marked enemy gains additional turn after the current one, and all that. Just good stuff. Just inspiring the men into further acts of passion. And is that a vase? Oh, it's rock. Rock. Never mind. I was thinking a very odd place to just have a vase, but not here to judge the decor of anyone else. I've also noticed, well, that sometimes the movement is a bit clingy at the moment. Like, it doesn't respond to... Like, see, like I'm... Got to kind of, like, flick the mouse in one direction to get him to move sometimes. Here we are, Ethelred. This is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Says the man dressed in that peculiar garb. His voice tight with tension. His face, half of which is covered by sin skin. God, saying that 10 times fast. Is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be a political and economic suicide. Practically an administration of heresy. Theodora, the tall grey woman, pins him with her... Ooh, nice. Pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggests an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation, no worse than my Senescal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Aeon 6 Eldelfad? So, we'll survey the room, shall we? Your first impression of Ethelred. Ethelred? I like that. Ethelred, that's what we call him. Who appears to be about 30 years old. Is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants and bone. That's one really cool thing that they do. If you're not a fan of Warhammer 40k, they've got little, like, certain words, like, highlighted, so, like, if you don't know what they mean, you can click on them. It's nice. They've embedded that in the text. You don't need to open up, like, a little side menu for all that stuff, which is really cool. Nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted into a slight tick. The jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defects that has taken his physical form. In stark contrast to Ethelred, Theodora von Valancius Features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in stature between her and Ethelred. Behind the two of them, you can see two more men. One is of a grey-haired officer of impeccable bearing, who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manners of weapons. Theodora, our second candidate, has joined us. The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched force you to look at Theodora. The rogue trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and oppressive. John Temple, approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Aeon 6, a new world on the fringes of the Cronus Expanse, high seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, projects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protects those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanish overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? So, based on some of our skills, we can give certain answers. But I saw one in my first playthrough which I quite liked. We've also got, because of our background as well, we can give specific commas our answers. I like it. I would consider sending in more people, one crew after another, until someone succeeded in their service to humanity and the conquest of Aeon 6. But no. What we would do is that Aeon 6 must be purged for the good of the Imperium. I should exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. That's exactly what we would do. Theodora's expression sours. Another one. I suppose your answer is strictly correct, but not here. Not on the frontier. Not when we are playing for such high stakes. Heresy. She'll be the first shot against the wall. Ethelred, Lady Theodora, your disappointment puzzles me. I gave you the same answer from the off, albeit in a more complete and compelling form. The God Emperor's tenants. Ethelred, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then, why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's desk, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. Ethelred bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. Alright, peace out, simp. What a wetter. Theodora's gaze follows him as he leaves, then turns to you. Sir John Temple, why are you here? Was it not you who sent for me? You have ceded the opening that was offered to you, and displayed woeful meekness, even for one of an inferior rank. Admittedly, this affection is equally strong in all who are inured to existence in the grip of the Imperium. Immutable heresy, absolute obedience, lick-splittery, compulsion to please, forget all that. From the moment my invoice came for you, the old rules ceased to matter. My name is Theodora von Val... God, I wish they actually had a different name. Massier of... spelling error there. Devs, if you're watching this, make note. I'm a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the Warrant of Trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honour to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign and bow death and ruin to us all. It's my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the boundaries of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find, Firian resources, people's riches and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, John Temple, are one of those of the von Valancius blood in the veins, and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. Cool. I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of... We've only just got here, mate. What do you want from us? Surely by our facial hair alone do we not stand a good chance of being a decent heir. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honour of becoming a bearer of the warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Theodora sighs and looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities at times can be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voy served me for many years before he made his mistakes. Well, thank you. There's lots of talking. There's honestly, you could actually waffle on with these guys for hours and hours. But yeah, whatever. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask you my questions now? The Vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodora winces, shuts off transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives a signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. Where is your ship headed? The Rykard system, and the domain of the rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Kronos Expanse, and each of them possess resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valankius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendour. I set the course for Rykard on the demand, and Theodore grimaces. She gives you a stern look, then shrugs. For a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet appraise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time. We know what navigators are. We know what those things are. What are my current responsibilities? Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find you a post that suits you, as it did for Eldadad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. Cool. I've got no more questions then. In that case, I shall head to Theodor's Vox awakens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast, then nods and draws weapons. Disturbance is reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal. If the need arises, protect under new blood. She glances at you. It is possible that you have the chance to prove the chance for you to prove your worth may present itself sooner than we may have anticipated. End the dialogue. Oh my goodness! What on earth is going on? It's a rebellion! God blimey! Brigands on the deck! Uncorrigible! Unrelenting!
Show them no mercy!
We shan't stand for this. Start battle. Thankfully, we've got a team of plasma pistol, sword-wielding madmen and women to bond with. Look at that, just absolutely slicing and dicing them, no questions asked. Big old melter gun. Those guys used to be alive and now they're not. Yeah, quite a lot of the combat in the early stages. You would normally have like little tutorial things coming up around here, just explaining like the really basic stuff. We don't need that. We've got hit, but that's fine. We can hide behind cover, much like you can in other similar kinds of games. Our guns have got ammunition which we will be required to reload, but for now, we could just shoot some dudes. Yeah, our shooting is not our forte. It's not our forte at all. In fact, I put no extra points into my ballistic skills. It's just all weapon skill. So I'll be amazing in close combat once that happens.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Now, the way that injuries work in this is quite interesting. If you take a lot of damage very quickly, then you get like a little injury icon, which, if you leave it for a while, becomes an old injury. I think it's something like 5 rounds of combat, which then basically give you like a negative effect to your stats. And I think if you get like 5 stacks of those, you get like trauma. Not like childhood trauma or anything, but like physical trauma. Right, let's activate. Let's give him hell. An attempt. Go on, hit him, I dare you. vanquishing the enemies of the Imperium. Or at least damaging the furniture. The heretical furniture of the Imperium.
I've suffered worse.
But this is why it's good that we've got friends at the moment. Because we're not doing all that well.
I took care of this one.
We'll get a melee weapon later. There we go, easy peasy. Take it down, Uprising. Have a word. Theodora waves her hand in commanding gesture. Mort, take a team with you and clear the path to the transport line. Don't let a single Whoreson survive. Road Trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst out the door, out onto the deck then. I mean, I didn't hear anything neither, did I, but... may as well have had my eyes closed all the way through that. Not bad. I've seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to the harsh realities of warp transitions. Shows the Vox in her hand. All you can hear is lifeless static. What are your orders? She breaks eye contact with you. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. I want you to make yourself useful. Go after him and see if the arch-militant requires aid, and be quick about it. Alright, I could be quick. So, we're just going to follow that dude. We've got like a quest here. Not sure what the rumours are. I think they're like little clues to what's going on. And orders. Not sure what the difference between orders and quests are. But we shall learn that in good time, I imagine. So yeah, we're just going to sprint after these lads. As a break for attempts, crew to arms. Form a firing line. There we go. Don't fire till you see the whites in their eyes, boys. Marvellous stuff. Glorious charge. Before being turned into spaghetti. That's alright, I mean, just martyrs for the holy cause. And we actually can't go down there. That is not a battle for us. So they're just going to leave us alone. We need to go and help Mort. Which I'm doing my best not to make any Morty jokes, any Rick and Morty references, because I'm a grown-up. No Pickle Ricks here, I'm afraid, boys and girls. Meltagun firing with that poor chap. Well, I like that, though. Even though Meltaguns are meant to be anti-vehicle, if something anti-vehicle hits you square in the chest, you're still going to die quite epically. Conrad Voy lets out a sigh of relief upon seeing you. Thank Providence you're alive and well. Always on time, Conrad, says Mort. The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after fighting's done. You'd set your chrono by it. Conrad pointedly looks away from the Arch-Militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The Arch-Militant looks back at you. What did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. And here she comes, striding along. That was a quick report. Master whispers, what's happening to my ship? The Vox net is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck. My Arch-Militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of the crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and to whom they serve? Report! I've not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago. And now they've ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I'm receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Vox casts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organised mutiny. Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here in the war? Actually, no, never mind. A mutiny against the Emperor's Anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and navigator sanctum are secure. That means that we could do both things at once. Expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Theodora looks at Voy. Elder Thad, where is he? I must know if he's unharmed. A Psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than the whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing I know about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Ethelred for me. Immediately. Seneschal, locate Slass, and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Archmilitant, with me. I must go to my study. It appears we might encounter heretics along the way. John Temple. Theodora glances at you thoughtfully. If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbances, and if our goal is to bring Ethelred back, I could do some support. After all, I may not be as... I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Archmilitant, and taking into consideration Edelfrad's psychic powers... Oh, shit. So I have a really bad habit of double-clicking. But she essentially says, yeah, oh, nice one. Go off the... oh, never mind, I didn't click, double-click. Well done me. The cell, John Temple found Ethelred and return here. In my state, this elevator leads to restricted compartments, such as my personal chambers on the bridge. Don't let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Theodora waves a hand impatiently. Then move. More to come. Aye, he does that on command, I see. What a loyal servant of the Imperium. Oh, that was an inappropriate jerk. Oh, calm your passions, young man. Alright then, Conrad, where are we going? Are you ready to head to 18? It's a long walk, and you don't even have the proper gear. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. I will pop and a sharp crackle. Something hits you in the abdomen, and you're consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. My goodness! It's a plot twist! Damn you, Conrad! And now we're being groped. One guy's touching our feet, another guy's inside of us. This is not how I imagined being a commissar of the Imperium would end up. You'd never expect it. But in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only drugging and unconsensual touching, I suppose. Alright, where are we? What have you done to us? Giving us a kick to wake us up? How very dare he? Conrad, careful, careful! Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber, and for that I need him breathing. You are back with us. I see, delightful. Voy, you two-faced scum! You are the one behind this mayhem! How perceptive of you, John Temple. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the ante-room for the Warrant Chamber. This void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond these gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all her power, the sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by a sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to the true heir of the dynasty. I expect to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the sentinel. What is it inbred? Is your blood too thin for the sentinel? Oh, on the contrary. The warp's blessings have raised me too much above your kind, von Valankius. The sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family's for? Oh, we're related to you. Okay, fair enough. I have no intention of helping you. I'm afraid that you, John Temple von Valankius, have no choice in the matter. Voy produces a strange object, a blade without a handle that shimmers blue in the light. Try to resist and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I might even take some pleasure in doing so. Or we will not succumb to the void with you. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more soulless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts. Replace them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Get out! I'm not your puppet. We're going to try and fight him back for our will. Chance is 60%. Can we resist him? We failed. The voice in your head giggle and mock you in your mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you step towards the gate looming in the centre of the chamber. So we tried to resist, but heresy wins in the end. But we didn't do it willingly, gosh darn it. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator, a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twists slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Let's examine the device. Tech use failed. You look over the cogitator. There is little chance that you will be able to discern anything about its design. Like any other sacred machine in the Imperium, this relic is the speciality of the machine cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs for your consciousness, demanding sacrifice. The voice that fills your head after Voy wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. We're not going out without a fight. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. Alright, fine. Place your hand in the sentinel's maw. Or its crotch, wherever that hand went then. Sentinel's jaws clamp around your head, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear a humming as the servo motor starts up and pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you begin to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this has ever. High levels of caustic humours. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? You don't understand where this quiet voice is coming from. Crackling like static. Is it the sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol. And look at that. Friendly turrets. Although, that looks more like lasgun turrets to me. And fire. Lots of fire for everyone. He's like, peace out, homie. We're not getting involved in this. But, hey, Herb, you know what? That's fine. So, right, blood. Go to the chamber. Hey, kids, how are we all doing? And here it is. That big relic. Which is just basically just a really long piece of paper, innit? But I suppose that's what a warrant is, isn't it?
I won't tolerate.
Hello, Warren. How are you doing? Let it be known that my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be bearer of the warrant of trade. Ah, Jesus. To be power gun of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely into the first... I can't read this. Essentially, good stuff. We're all right. We've got paper now. And what more do you want? Vox Skull. The servo skull's creaking gradually turns to comprehensible words. Escort the child to the house of safety. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? Temporary obnubilation. Whatever. Following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by. Are you the Warrant Sentinel? Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection. In place of the mechanical screeching, the servo skull's voice Vox projects the voice of Theodora von Valankius, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond a doubt. Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head. Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. The server skull goes silent. It relays its relays clicking. Second after second passes, and you realise that the server's skull will not answer you. Well, you're useful, aren't you? Lead me away from here. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in the areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. The server skull twitches and makes a few clicks. To prevent unauthorised units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the warrant is safely secured. Alright, so we just need to close doors, don't we? That's fine. We can close doors. There's a skill available to us. Now, we can check if we can do anything by pressing the tab button. But it seems that that's it. So, there we go. We can close you, I think. Oh, not is that. There we go. Press that button, seal the warrant chamber. Seal it good. Oh, it's Ablard. Senechal Ablard Ware Serian. He's lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating, and one of his sleeves on his coat arm is torn and soaked through with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and gazing, demanding, albeit somewhat surprised. Master John Temple, what are you doing down in the warrant chamber? How did you... He surveys the carnage around him. His brow furrows and places a hand on his weapon. Friend, preserve me. What is the meaning of this? Conrad is a traitor. We have parted ways on the officer's deck. He's stunned me somehow and brought me here. Abelard's eyes widen. What? What should we go for? He intended to take revenge on Theodora for an old grudge and become a rogue trader himself. I think it was that. Oh no, he spoke about defiling the warrant with some ritual and serving the gods of the warp. Serving the gods of the warp? Conrad is a heretic? Oh, Voy, you void rat. Albard shakes his head. Madness! And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Unquestionably. Grockseed. Then it is a small wonder that heretics are so well organised. I thought his order to seal all passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels, but now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive and now safe, Master John Temple. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. Abelard, examines you critically. You're in a bad way, John Temple. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicae kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now it's not a good time to be walking around the deck without means of self-defense. Here, he hands you a weapon. Sweet beans, mate. Right, so we can look in the old inventory. So we've now got a close combat weapon. That's all good. And we've also got some shoulders now, so we've got rid of our plumage, but we've got at least some actual decent armor. Go away, journal thing. And we don't actually have the skill to use...
Not my specialty.
It's not my specialty, no. We do not heal. But this dude, absolute lad, loves a good heal, as this kid. So we can... How do I close this? You go on that one. And click on this lad. Little inventory down here. And heal away.
Thank you. Now, where were
There we go. Teamwork makes the dream work. Ablard nods in satisfaction. This is a noticeable improvement, John Temple. Now are you prepared for the trials ahead? Lower deck are teeming with heretics, instigating the rabble to riot. But that's the least of our problems. Ships and forces are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation in the middle decks is much worse. Although strike teams have been already dispatched there, all communication with the bridge and the engineer bay was lost. So apart from scattered voxcasts, we've got no information to go on. Speaking of scattered voxcasts, oh my goodness! A collapse! Madness! That's not the worst of all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are the signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. The worst case, they've already lost control of the process and we have precious few moments left to live. In the best case, if we manage to reach the navigator's sanctum and get handle of the situation, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. Alright then, so the yeah, we're fine. The navigator's sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way? Oh no, let's be more authoritative. The Imperium and humanity, lead the way, Seneschal. Albert nods in approval. Come, John Temple. A wave of static suddenly erupts from the servo skull, and you make out Theodora's words for the noise. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our world, and we might destroy those who dare. Oh, with all your might, destroy those who dared. Whatever. Reading's hard, man. Snatchel's eyes light up and he smiles with grim determination. The Lord Captain is calling our crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the Road Shredder inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward! Just as we go onward, there's a lot of bad men.
To cross us. Show them no mercy.
Thankfully, we are bad men in our own right. So we are going to mosey on over... In fact, we've got a charge button, which lets us charge forward, but our range is limited. So we're gonna... In fact, actually,
Tried and tested.
let's just get right into the mix, shall we? Charge in, strike down a heretic, and strike down another. Take no prisoners, no mercy. And then he's got an ability where he's able to stay still, but once he's done that, he can't move. And I would like him to stay moving. We're being assaulted, but we parried. Got a wonderful weapon skill. No one's going to touch us anytime soon. So we can slay you. Be gone, foul heretic. And now we're not within charge range. Never mind, we can
Suits my purposes.
use this. Let's give him hell for now. And pass our turn. So yeah, you can do single attacks as a melee combatant. You can also... And hopefully this guy will... There we go. So they're all in a nice little row. And because we're absolute heroes, we can strike down 3 people in a line. So just bring them all down. So I like it. It's got a nice little... Oh, you can't do anything else. Oh, I may as well stand you there. So yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so against like mad groups of people, I imagine you'll be able to feel quite powerful. Which is nice. Charge in, get involved, give him a stab or a slice. And there we go. Now, really interesting thing about the how would one say, the inventory here. So I've got 2 different inventories. We've got our inventory that we carry around with us, but we've also got a cargo hold. So we do that, and if we look at our inventory, we've got a little ship I called Man Plato's Paradise. Just because that's what I wanted to call it. Plato's got a beard, I've got a beard. It's a beard theme. It's got our inventory there, which has currently got nothing, and that's where we've stuck all that stuff in for selling, I assume, later on. Anyway, we've leveled up. So we've got our little things that we can level up here. We've got abilities. Now, what do I want for... Do you mind talking while I'm talking? Thank you very much. So yeah, we've got things that we can do. More abilities and stuff. Now, I went for... What did I go for? I went for... Reckless Strike. Basically, we've already got quite a good striking ability at the moment in the form of a Commissar. And I learned the hard way that melee is quite easy to get done in by big bads. So I'm thinking something that keeps you a bit alive. I think that might be a useful thing. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Endure. The Indomitable Commissar stuff. And we're going to go for more Coercion. Just so that when we need to bully people, we can bully people. It's not bullying, it's character building. And this dude, well, you've already got a defensive ability, so I want you to go for a offensive ability And that can be reckless strike, forceful strike. Let's go reckless strike. That increases what? That's next melee attack grants 5 plus times strength bonus. Nice one. And you can go for. Let's make you Karos. I won't pronounce that. Ability to resist the negative effects of substances. So you can drink a bit. Nice, that's what we want. Alright, all that sorted. Let's go to the Navigator's Sanctum. So here we are. All best friends working together. But damn the structural integrity of Plato's Paradise. Iddy, I'm gonna call it Iddy. The woman before you whips around and gazes straight at you, her eyes glowing with otherworldly delight. And sir, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide, and witness the radiance of the final dawn fill the cracks, and fall victim to a whim of fate. Master John Temple, watch your head! Oh, look at that forward roll, what a lad. Iddy! I'm gonna call him Abe as well. Yeah, Abe grumbles as he dusts himself off and grips his weapon again. Would it be too much to ask that you phrased your soothsaying plainly for once? That was too close. Iddy bursts out into a guttural, drunken laugh. Sorry, old man, the voices in my head are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abe, how they sing. John Temple, this is Iddy Tlass, personal psyker and diviner of her ladyship, Fear. Abe looks her up and down. Iddy! I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate to die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall in the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, the claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. What are you doing here? Whispers called me. The ones that I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide for the warp. Other whispers called me to the Enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our Master Cog, and the silence that followed. What? You don't mean the chief engine seer is... Yes, Abe, dead. Without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cracking at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shrieks of the Navigator's Sanctum was louder than the rest, and it's better that we save the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or cook from the middle decks. From the Vox skull, you hear a few clicks from the relays of the servo skull, which has followed you here all the way, and Fear's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you. Officer's frequency, to all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hand are to gather in the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather in the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch counterattack. That's Ethelrad, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to... Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, no number of Lady Fear's heirs will be of any use to us anymore. If Ethelrad, like me, has not yet surrendered either mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold out a little without us. Oh, blast it, you're right. First we need to deal with what's happening here. We must see the Navigator we must see if the Navigator is well. Oh, no. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you. The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. Iddy freezes, then slaps her cheeks, rubs her face, and looks at you. The supernatural glow is gone from her eyes, and the smirk spreads across her lips. We're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests that there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At least, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while he's still alive. to end the dialogue there. So okay, saving mutants. That's what the Imperium is all about. Well, these guys don't mean to make friends, do they? Alright, let's engage in glorious hand-to-hand combat then. Right, for battle, place the characters in their positions, so we can actually place our dudes wherever the heck we damn well please. Is what I intend to do. Eddie, you can go behind this big piece of cover there. By the God Emperor, we can stab him. Give him a good stabbing. So, Eddie's got a couple abilities. She can throw out some lightning.
I'm not so sure.
Why? What? Can I not see? Alright, fine. I'll shoot at you guys then. Although that's a really bad habit of hitting my own people. I seem to constantly do that. Soul's got other abilities like forewarning, so we can make our friends less likely to get hit. It's quite useful. Is that all? Oh no, we could do some other things. We've got. Oh no. We've got exposed weakness, but that's well, I'll explain that another round. For now, let's charge forward. Stab this dude in the face. Slice and dice. Give him a stabby as well. And we'll activate this too. So we are ready for the future. And you can charge right here. Oh, where you go? That's not where I wanted you to go, young man. That's not where I wanted you to go at all.
At your beck and call.
I'll just prime up a Wrestler Strike for now. Oh no, he's cursed with misfortune. Right, more lightning. You'll see as well that we've got a veil thickness. And when this little line goes past this little bit here, I assume bad things happen. I've not let bad things happen to me yet. But there we go. Shocking. Vespiadas. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs. I have too many joints for a normal human being. Navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut. The two ordinary eyes, as well as the third one, sits in the center of its forehead. I believe Master Vespiadas still lives. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of keeping this place alive. Address Eddie. What's wrong with him? Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one. Navigator stares, barely able to lift his head, and half opens his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from underneath the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vox Grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear how the Navigator is able to produce human speech. Are you all right? Suddenly the Navigator... Clearly it's not all right, mate. Suddenly the Navigator's body starts thrashing it in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous screaming mouth-like pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. Sounds a bit demonish to me. It came from beyond. His body is not his. Eddie's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the Navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. Navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fits stop abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a treacle into a stream mixed from the blood coming out of his nose, and there is a purplish swelling around the eye. Run! Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation, leave the warp, but it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. Who torments you? The Edge. Hopefully not from the WWE, because otherwise we've got no chance. We can't beat the Edge. Kneel before the essence of the new champion. When the rites complete, the shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the Edge of Daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods. Each word rings through your head like a bell, tolling of the bell, as if countless voices have joined in. Screams into your ears. For the moment you lose your bearings, the unholy chorus must be trying to confound you with sounds not from this world. And let's adjust the companions. What is this supposed to mean? We ain't a science man. Alright, a sacrifice offered. Oh, my heart tells me that Conrad was not deterred by his defeat in the Warrant Chamber. What? Conrad betrayed Ladyfear? But how is this? How is that? How? It was as loyal as a dog, and I didn't hear a thing, I swear. Navigator, or rather the thing that so determines his body, erupts into mocking laughter. The footfalls of the bringer of twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes, she who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer. But in that case, Abe, the navigator is still alive, but barely so. What should we do now? He gazed at the figure in the chair. The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It's worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Eldilfrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms of the server skull relayed to us earlier. Vespia about dads. Good luck and thank you. The navigator does not give a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids. The vox at the base of the chair is billowing out static, interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. Well, he's not having a good time, is he? Bless him. Can we get a close-up on him? Can't really get that much of a close-up, but he's looking a bit battered and bruised, mate. Alright, let's peace out. Hey, could he come? There we go. Can also pick up some loot. We do have axes. Oh, we'll just accept everything. We're going to sort out all the nitpicking later on, can't we? Auto pistol. Last cannon. Nothing too crazy. Anything else on the map? Stuff that I may have missed out on. Nope, never mind. Alright then. Let's go and find some assistance. While I wet the old whistle. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a loading screen then. Officer's deck. Let's get in there. Loading screens aren't too bad on this, I found. Well, compared to some other RPGs that I played before. Here comes the lift. Interesting animation, but we're there. With some argy-barges going on. Some unpleasant chaps doing some unpleasant things. Your ship's as good as ours. It's all over for you. I shall pity not your enemies, I shall heed that not their pleas. Voice there, boys, calm down. I know, I've seen the memes. Attractive nun with guns. Strong thighs, I get it. Calm your passions. This is a Christian Minecraft channel. We don't need anything like that. My god, my light, my emperor. She's quite cute though, isn't she? Bless her. Argentina. Just God. Argenta. Argy, I'm going to call her that. White-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. Ooh. The weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment, it seems she is not going to stop, and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you. Sister Argy, it's a relief to see that you are in good health and well armed. Require all the forces we can muster. Your face is unfamiliar to me. Who are you? John Temple von Valankius, the Lord Captain's heir. Argy gives you another stern appraisal. You catch something strange in the dark depths of her eyes. Something internal struggles. Or a wildest question. In the end, however, she nods. The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted to sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades are igniting with their arch enemy's hunger. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone willing to halt the advance of the dark forces. That is why you have come, isn't it? Sister, I beg you, now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed masters of whispers. Eldilfrad, the heir, is waiting for our aid, and the Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. Of course, we are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all just do that. The Sensual is right, there is no time for talk. Very well, let's leave it at that. Argy raised her chin proudly. I cannot wait to rain fire upon more heretics, each and every one of them. Then we must get to the main hall. Through this door, Argy nods at the passage to your right. I'll go with you. I cannot wait to destroy those who have encroached on the God Emperor's domain. She's very positive, isn't she? The Overseer says that we will follow for now. We will hold off any heretics who might try and crawl through the cracks to join the main assault, and we will take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, how I wish we had a technomat with us. But we'll see what we could do without one. Why are you helpful? Good to hear it, sister. Ready, may Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness. Very passionate is this woman. I don't like how the journal is like every time we get a task, it's just there. I would love it if it was like in the corner here. But hey, that's just a minor nitpick. Give us some goods. We've got a well-maintained axe. Let me stick that in the old do for here. Like, see what I mean? It's like I want to click on things, but it's just there all the time. Well, what's your weapon? You've got a chainsword. Oh, but only Abe can have that. Fine. I don't want any cool weapons. Why would a commissar have cool weapons? Come on. Right, there we go. Alright, so back out, I assume. Oh, have I gone the wrong way? Hold on. Is it that way? Is it this way? No, I must have to go back on the doofers. Yeah. Come on, Slancho, you did this. You completed this whole tutorial like 5 minutes ago. Ah, never mind. I was too busy doing all the reading that I completely forgot to actually take in the information. Open the door. Let us in.
The premonition runs true.
Cheers, fam. All right then, cooks. Let's have you go. Let's have you on.
I will take you down.
Right, so let's hide you behind a table. We'll stick you guys smack bang in the middle. Oh, we'll have the Battle Sister on the left flank. So the Battle Sister is primarily a marksman, from what I can remember. By power of bolt. Look at you see? No one can hit us. We're too fast. We're too furious. Right. Note itself. Do not lightning bolt the center. We are going to throw a big scream. Oh, we can lightning bolt these guys because they're a million miles away. Fair enough. Be gone, heretic. Out with you, young man. And let's throw a
On it.
mindfulness or forewarning on that dude. On us, John Temple. Good lord. We're almost immortal. Can't hit us. Or at least when they don't do that much damage. Okay, so Battle Sister. So she's got an option where she can just basically, like, fire a bajillion million times. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that. No messing around. And we can even shoot on the run. Which means that we can now redeploy over on this side. And get one more shot off down over here. Boom. Of course, the legions of heretics never end. Never truly. And do we have a dash? We can even dash again. But no, we're not going to. We don't need to dash. Quite content being where we are. These marksmen are no good, are they? Right, so one thing I've noticed was that if you attack before you move, you lose all your movement points. Which is not ideal. But that's fine. It's okay. Right. Slice you. Well, we could move forward using charge. But I'd rather save that because we only get one melee attack per turn. And charge acts as a melee attack, so we'll leave that there. Alright, you stand here. And then... Oh, what minutes to turn around? There we go. And then slice... Oh, slice that man. Chain Sworder going. And then charge into him. I'm not going to hit him. Alright, fine. Don't do that. Thankfully, the cover we're taking behind a wooden chair is doing us, well, paying us dividends. And John Temple, Master of the Matrix, can't be shot. He's nailing about the place. Now, so here's a really cool thing. So we have got our momentum down here, which allows us to use like some super abilities every now and then. Now, at the moment, I do believe that for all the people's special abilities, I do think that it's only Iddy that has any abilities. So, shall we? Let's just blooming murder some people, shall we? So it's like our lightning out, but just a lot better. And we are also going to... Oh, this goes until the end of combat, so we can actually give this to everyone. That's really useful. So you have been forewarned. Abe, you have been forewarned. Also, I have attacks of opportunity on this. Everyone has them.
Rejoice in battle.
I move forward with you. And then... Can we get you both in this? Nah, it doesn't look like it. Never mind, okay, let's do one tactical shot there. I do like how the bolter rounds also explode. And then if we run and shoot, shoot and run. I'll try and get an angle on this guy. Take a shot at him. Never mind. And I guess what we can do is that we can just run that way. Dash. It's not as far as I wanted him to go. That was a misclick on my part there. Right, we are nowhere near being able to shoot, to get him. We might be able to. Go on, pistol, 28%. Nah. No chance, mate. That's fine, we shall just end our turn there. Because Big Bad Aim is going to come in. And he's just going to absolutely wipe the floor with him. Why can I not charge you?
I'm not interested.
Fine. Okay then. Alright. Just end your turn there then. So they're always going for the temple. They're always going for the big bad temple, but now it's going to get me. I go and get him. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's how you fight the heretics. Right, now what stuff do you have? You've got lots of shite stuff. Never mind. We'll just stick it. No, wrong one. Let's stick all these in the cargo. That's what we want. And got more bodies over here. Into the cargo with you.
Say no more.
I like how the bodies are, depending on where they've been hit, will affect like what kind of body they leave behind. Like they will lose limbs and stuff. I mean, this poor soul over here has been literally cut in half. Well, like in half, but also the arms down there as well, which is quite crazy. Okay, then. Oh, we can examine the model.
Fate.
Is that replica of the void ship sits on a pedestal? Certain parts of the vessel are labelled. We cannot make sense of them because you are not very clever. Right. Let's go about our business.
Who thought that was a good idea?
The door is jammed. Damn heretics, we need explosive doodads. Which we can find about the place. Come on, move. Gosh darn it. We're looking for the goods. We've found some cargo. Open the door using logic. Yeah, let's use logic.
Nothing's impossible for this.
Well, the power of being clever, that's what we get. Well, what's inside of you? We gonna... Oh, just wax. Wax and rubbish. And we also have melter charges and a... Oh, operator's gloves. The wearing of these gloves gains a 3+2 tech use checks. Now, who in our party had the good tech use? So I've got 25. Abe's got 30. Iddy's got 30. And RG's got 30. So I'll tell you what. We're going to make you the smart person. So let's make you the smart person. And... is it an idea to give everyone a couple of medipacks? Probably. Assuming that they can use it. I still can't use it. Nah, I can't use them. Healings for cringe. Oh, and neither can RG. Oh, RG, sorry. So... alright then, that's fine. No problems with me.
Over there.
More goods over here. An awareness check passed. What does that mean? Oh, goods here as well. We are just ransacking everything. We might be on the verge of death from the warp, but that's fine. There's always time to loot the place. Kleptomania is just the way RPGs are done. More goods over here.
Need to investigate.
This will all, I assume, become very useful in the later stages of the game. I do not know. It's like I said, I've only done this opening bit. Blow up the door. Demolitions.
Duty prevails.
And just like that,
None shall stand
now we're
in
ready
my
to
way.
fight. Ready to fight the ruinous powers. Oh dear, this does not seem like a very stable bridge to me. Ah, cough, I can't see. And through the fire. Now the roar of flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. Instinctively recoil from the scorching heat, wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You're surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sound of footsteps. And then you see a figure walking out of the fire towards you, Theodora von Valancius. Theodora, her expression is calm, terrifyingly so for someone whose body is engulfed in an inferno. One of her hands is resting on the hilt of her power sword, the other raised in an inviting gesture. Are you lost, my heir? RG goes as still as a statue, and slowly will raise their weapon. An apparition! A sorcerous apparition! Trickery of the warp! Sister, lower your weapon! Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous. This is impossible. I doubt you are aware of the limits of what is possible, John Temple. For your worldview is but an iota of what the rogue trader knows and sees. I could tell you that you would like me to share that knowledge with you. That power over reality. Theodora watches you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns on your skin. I can lead you out of these flames, John Temple, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon that you would so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide. Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Fyodora speaks is like music to your ears. The entity that now dwells in the deepest recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give her an immediate answer, and the answer could be nothing other than acceptance. It's a bit weird. Argy says, do not listen to this abomination, John Temple. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you have faith, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into these flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises, nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul. As to the void with you, we need to follow Lady Fyodora, but before we suffocate in this furnace. And the people, John Temple, the saviors from the survivors from the middle decks, we must help the crew, lead them out, find a way around. Over the roaring flames you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams muffled and distorted, as if there were a body of water between you and them. And we'll miss no chance to meet up with Ed. John Temple, what are we waiting for? Right, well, you know what? So, we've got a morality system in this, where we can either go full-blown Emperor, we can go a little bit heretical, or we can be benevolent and actually try and help people. But we're not going to do any heresy, and we're not going to help people. We are going full-blown zealot. So the Emperor will guide the righteous on their path. We're going to walk through the fire, baby. Thousands of needles pierce your consciousness, but are powerless to stop you. You take a step forward, and the illusion breaks. A wave of excruciating pain crashes over you, and Fyodora's voice fades into the firestorm. You hear the voice of your own companions calling you from behind, and the screams of the weak dying in an inescapable blaze. But it's fine, we endure the flames, whereas these men lacked faith. They lacked faith indeed. The blinding inferno, the harrowing pyre, the all-consuming storm releases you as you step out, barely able to stay on your feet. The blood is pounding your ears, drowning out from the world around you. Your eyes, caked in soot and burnt eyelashes, refuse to open. Free from the flames, you take 2 more steps before collapsing to your knees. The blood, the rush of blood in your temples and the horrible pain all over your scorched body cloud your mind. Before suddenly retreating, as if driving away by some mighty will, a new strength spreads through your veins, and despite the words, your body is once more ready for trials and struggle. You open your eyes and see a glow with a warm light before you, the Aquila, the sacred symbol of the Imperium. God, that paragraph is really difficult to read for whatever reason. And the next moment, you are struck with another realization. The repulsive presence, the one that had plagued your mind since Voi wounded you, is gone. The fire seems to have burnt the entity away without a trace. John Temple, Master John Temple, can you hear me? A familiar voice cuts through the din and the pounding. Abe Warren Sheehan is leaning over you, peering into your face with a look of worry. He notices your gaze and breathes a sigh of relief. You're alive and sane, which is more than I was expecting about after what you just did. Praise the Emperor. RG kneels next to you, and for the first time you see her eyes radiate pure, unclouded joy. We pass through the flames. Oh, how can this be anything but a portent? For so it is said that the Emperor will bless the worthiest and most steadfast in their faith. Behind RG, you see Idi Tlas, doubled over in a fit of nausea. The rest of the people who were following you have either withered away in the fire that continues to rage mere meters from you. The Emperor protects, Shines Snarl. Indeed it does, John Temple. If I hadn't seen it myself, I would have not believed. I mean, it protects us, but like those 4 guys, not questioning the Emperor, no heresy here. What happened to Lady Fyodora? Did she follow us? There was no Fyodora witch. There was an illusion, a temptation, a foul taint that tried to lead us astray, but John Temple perceives its true nature. Is that right, Adeptus Sanctimonious? Well, what we'll just pretend like we didn't see the Lord Captain just standing there in the fire? Abe, you tell her. Whatever it was, it matters no longer. Your conduct, John Temple, is borderlining on madness or holiness. A path opened behind you, where one moment there was fire, the next only smouldering embers remained. But what am I saying? My eyes must have deceived me. Too much smoke for my lungs. Truly, would you have received wounds like these if there had been no fire? The wounds are merely a sign of a trial laudably passed. It is something to be proud of, the same as decorations or badges of honour. Yeah, let's rise and stand tall. No elements hold power over the righteous. Damn straight. Even if you were anticipating another wave of pain, it does not come. Your muscles feel strong and your limbs obey you without fail. And yet, deep inside, somewhere next to your heart and stomach, you feel a certain tension akin to that of a taut string. You are at your limit, but the adrenaline or strength of your faith will not carry you for much longer. God, I've got no time to drink here. Ethelred. John Temple, do my eyes deceive me? I could have sworn that I just witnessed you step out of a pillar of fire for the rest of following in your wake. I hurried here to join force with you and the others. It is time to push the heretics back. Indeed it is, John Temple. Ethelred makes the sign of the Aquila and gives you another look, this time one of concern. Your wounds. Law, warp. Look closely at Ethelred. He might be a baddie. Warp check fails. Ethelred looks tired and exhausted, but his eyes burn with focused determination. He's determined to go to the bridge and defeat the heretics. My faith will keep me upright with a weapon in my hands. That is all that matters. Ethelred holds up his hand with a placating gesture. Pray forgive my insistence. I shall not be the one to doubt the faith of he who has passed a trial by fire. I've gathered everyone who answered the Vox call and was able to hold a weapon, yet I do not see the Lord Captain or her Arch-Militant in our midst. We are still receiving messages in her voice, but she is not responding to direct messages. Alas, saw Lady... Sorry about that. Last saw Lady Theodora on the observation platform. When did you and she part ways? It was on this very elevator, Master Ethelred. The Lord Captain, accompanied by the Arch-Militant, headed to her chambers to retrieve an item of particular import. After that, we all heard from her Vox broadcasts. This is troubling, and the timing is inopportune. I'm still receiving fragmentary reports from the bridge. Conrad Voy, Mr. Was spotted there, and even whence what scant intelligence on his activities I have reminds me of descriptions of sorcerous rituals. If that traitor has resorted to witchcraft, we must stop him at once. I shall go to Theodore's chambers to find her. Ethelred nods. A reasonable approach. Take your escort with you. You may be waylaid. Once you have found the Lord Captain, you must beg her to go to the bridge and lead the counterattack. The rogue trader's appearance is sure to be fill the defenders' hearts with hope, however frightened or exhausted they are. Until we meet next, John Temple, may the Emperors bless your deeds. I shall see you on the battlefield. Ethelred salutes you with his weapon and turns to his retinue. Alright, cheers, Ethel. Oh, I should be calling him Ethel all this time. That would have been much easier.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Alright, to the elevator, to the personal chambers of Mrs. Rogue Trader. Ah, something of interest, you say. Where are you going? Don't leave us just yet. We've got a box to open first. Thank you. Anything else of import? More goods down here. Just all the more cargo. And what are you? You are a door. Ooh, you're a big red button.
Victory awaits.
What are you? Plasma conduits blaze with an energy capable of powering a vast void ship. Alright, oh, that's just a generator room, so we can't... There's no big boom we could do. Lex Mechanics goggles for logic checks. Oh, don't throw you away. And machine right set. Sacred oils. Oh, that's for opening doors and stuff. So who would benefit from having that in their arsenal? Who's got logic on their side? No one in particular. Well, you're the science lady, so you can go for more science. Yeah. Fancy schmancy. Alright, let's go see the lady. Ask her what her business is all about. Oh, trophy manager, cargo. That's one useful thing. It picks up all the... It picks up some of the things that you missed from dead bodies. Alright, so Lord Captain's quarters. Show us your decor. Alright, what's going on here then? Hello, hello, hello. Have you got a license for these curtains,
I'll lay claim
young
to
lady?
the stars.
Can we pick anything else? Oh, I've got an old wound. Alderad. Stand still.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Damn right, we're the spearhead of the Imperium.
Let's patch you up.
I stand and reckon.
Jeez, Abe. Good old honest Abe. What a lad. Shock and horror? They've been done in? Have they been chefed up, mate? Oh god, it's like we're embarking. If you're not familiar with London, you won't get that joke, but if you are, then you will get that joke and appreciate it. And you're welcome. Awareness!
I better myself through my service.
4% chance to see... Is there a dead body on the table? Theodora's body is sprawled on a large blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is lying on the floor by one of the bulkheads. The sister of battle surveys the scene, her gaze lingering on the arch-militant's body. Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Iddy's heart-rending scream shakes the wall. She collapses to her knees, her body shuddering as she weeps. Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing, not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this? Abe, lad, stunned, takes a few steps forward and leans heavily on the edge of the desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body. Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat Voy. I don't. You know, I'm gonna let these people grieve. How could mortar fail us so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes. I can look at things in my own way. If I find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me. I will tell you what the secrets hold. Okay, let's examine Theodore's body. Are you close to the body? The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto-pistol shot. An extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise. Last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the door, something on the floor catches your eye. A heap of blood-smattered parchments and scrolls that have fallen off the desk. As you lean forward for a closer look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Iddy, would you try touching Theodora? You might be able to see the killer through her eyes. Iddy's whole body shudders. Doesn't work like that. I can try to read memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that requires a soul. And after what we've seen on the officer's deck, I wouldn't risk searching for it in the warp. Examine the Arch-Militant's body. An auto-pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the blood and furniture all around, brain matter and shards of his skull. The safety of the Arch-Militant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. All right then, inspect the shards on the desk. Clearly there's been some foul business afoot. More so than usual. It's difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer inspection, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium. Iddy, what do these shards tell you? He scoops up a handful of shards and clenches them in their fist with such strength that blood starts dripping on the floor. I see streaks of colours, luminous blues, lights, faces, drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad. And what is that? Ah! She shakes her head, looking frightened. Something dark, enormous. Oh, John Temple. This glass thing was something nasty, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. You cannot tell if RG's remarks direct towards the glass shards or Iddy herself. Inspect the papers. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It's handwritten. Oh, see, it is a handwritten letter, written with the initials XC, and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. You've received a handwritten letter with a seal. I like seals. Seals are cool. And sends a shiver down your spine. The author of this letter is addressed to Fyodor van Valenkius. Sign it with the seal of one of the holy orders of the Emperor's Inquisition, the secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunts heretics, Xenos, and other enemies of humanity. Oh, wow, okay. So some mischievous business. Yes, the Crucible of Battle calls to me once more. No, wait, we must see if we can find anything. Iddy, you can't bring her back. Let her go. You give up so easily, old man. I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart, but you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain, and when I do, that scum will regret the day she was born. I'm going to guess that she's going to turn traitor at some point. Too much emotion for one person. But yeah, so, Inquisition. Some stuff. Oh, can we take anything from his body? A helmet. Which, actually, we can. I remember. The Battle Sister can wear that. So, sorry about your hair, but you'll now wear a helmet for safety reasons. And let's level up once again. So, advance and increase the movement points of the fighter by 4. We don't have an option to change that one. That was just built in. We do have other things. What do you do? So, when a fighter is attacked, they gain 1 second of epicenter of slaughter. At the end of their turn, the fighter gains 1 temporary wound for each. We don't want that. We want something a bit more. Whenever the enemy attacks the fighter, the next melee attack against the enemy deals additional damage. Does not stack, but can be reactivated after another attack. If the fighter has less than 50% wounds, then you do more damage. I don't want it to be reliant on my health. The fighter deals additional damage to enemies that have no allies in adjacent cells. That might be useful for 1v1ing people. And the fighter gains 1+ damage deflection. The parry chance gains 25% of the... Actually, that's not that bad. We wanted more killing things, but then we've already got quite a good... fighters... We've got relatively good armor, and our parry chance is quite good for our weapon skills, so... Maybe we just rely on that more. Then we don't have to rely on, like, getting, like, the best armor. I think so. I say this like as if I know what I'm doing. I don't. I've got not a clue. Right, you Ethelstan, or whatever your name is. You're also a fighter as well, so let's go for... I know, we kind of want to keep you alive, don't we? So let's go for... Yeah, for Epicenter of Slaughter. So every time he's attacked, he gains temporary health. What do you get, young lady? You get... Right, you're meant to be logic and tech, so let's give you some more logic. She has law of... She could get law of Imperium and Xenos on the warp, but I'm thinking... Let's level those up for a bit first. Now, this is all to do with her being an adept. I think. Oh, I haven't even bothered mentioning the clue system yet. I'll do that later. We'll need to do it soon. But this is a really useful thing for that, which I'll explain in a bit. Explain it fairly soon. And Common Battle Sister, what have you got to bring to the table? Rapid reload. Give us something a bit sexier than that. If a marksman deals damage to 3 different enemies, their next attack. Nah, we want... for every adjacent ally, the marksman deals an additional... not working in formation. Not a terrible bad idea. That might actually be the play to make, in all honesty. As additional critical chance, this bonus is doubled against enemies from which the marksman has a cover. At the moment. Has a cover. Does that mean that if they're in cover or if I'm in cover? Fired up every time the marksman deals damage, their critical hit damage is increased by 3 until the end of combat. Yes, that's not bad. An exploit setting, the cover efficiency is increased by 10% for full covers and 20% for half covers. Yeah, fired up. Because in a prolonged fight, that'll help us quite a lot. And you can be... aware of things. Although we might need law on the Imperium. That might be useful. Hey, go on then, why not? We'll do that. Alright, cheers, fam. Okay, so we're just ready just to... Oh, there's some goods over here. Oh, we've got a cape. Everyone loves a good cape. God, sorry. For a brief second, I forgot how handsome we were. God, you'd take that man home with you, wouldn't you? God, blimey. Yep, that's all we need to do. Anything else? What are you? Are you a useful inspection thingy? A bizarre fragment hung on the drift. Oh, no, we don't need that. Sarju, you're boring.
It's about time.
We're not here to observe adornments and stuff. Very nice picture there. Shame she's dead. Spin around this way so we can have a look.
Challenge for me.
Is this door where we need to be at? Oh no, baddies!
Close ranks.
Weapon servitor. Alright then, let's get a nice... I'm not sure about this. Not sure if that's how it would have gone down, but... Oh, we'll take it. We thrive in the middle of combat. Just you try and strike us. Oh, well, we're veritably just bouncing around. That was a good fuzz, that. That was quite a painful scenario to be involved in. Right. So, you guys can shoot that guy. I'm just going to charge over here.
It will be done.
Take that, you bastard. Skip you. We shall then go for a wide swipe.
Nothing I can't
Killing
do.
these dudes.
Power before my might, filth.
Very strong. And then one shot to you.
The Emperor commands, I act.
Boom. Which is... Yeah, I think that was quite an efficient way of doing things. Combat Servitor, what have you got? You have got a las pistol. And you have got a Brace of the Obvious. If the wearer gains 5 toughness if their intelligence is less than 35. Ho ho! Oh, I'll tell you what. 10% of the Xeno Trophies cargo. Ooh. Don't know what that means, but that's fine by me. So because our intelligence is a whopping 25, which is the lowest of the group, I do believe. We're not here to think, we're here to smash gets in the chops. And a las pistol, which does less damage than us, but there's a dodge reduction that we could certainly use. So I am going to... And you can only fire pistol bursts. So, we'll do it. And then this solid las pistol. Can I give you a pistol? There you are, young man. A pistol for you. That's 200, so you can't have one. But you can... Oh, you've already had a las pistol. Okay. Fair enough. So if you ever wanted to actually like not use your psychic powers, you have that as an option. Well, isn't that a good pickup? Alright. Clearly,
None shall stand
nothing's
in
going
my
well
way.
here, is there? But more cargo, though. That's cool. Ah, it's that blooming traitorous mixture. Like, can't we just all be friends like that? It's just... Everything was chill until he started being a bad man. And there is our boy, Edelfrad. John Temple, you were here. But where is the Lord Captain? Theodore is dead. I found him on the Arch Militant in her study. God Emperor preserve us. The rogue trader is dead. The ship has lost her Lord Captain, and the house its head. Ethelred shudders and grabs his shoulders as he watches the sleeve of his doubled burst, doublet, burst open, and 2 burned growths pierce through the fabric. No matter what ritual Conrad is performing here, the warp is too strong. I can't withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second as the warp rings through the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the Warrants and all of the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity is victorious. I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. Changes are already accelerating. I forbid you at the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat. Words worthy of a righteous soul. Save the lofty words for later, will you? The navigator's ready to take the ship out of that warp if he gets some help from the bridge. Ethelred stares at you, his eyes harden with cold reserve once more. Then we have no right to bow our heads. Lanka has not noticed us. You see Conrad clearly in the gloom of the bridge. He is holding the now familiar broken blade stained with dark drops that seem to have pearlescent glimmer to them. We're out of time. Ethelred bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You can see how a wave runs through the whites of Ethelred's eyes. They begin to fill with a sickly yellowness. Oh, Alright, Pie, raise your weapons. If we are to die this day, let us die with honour. No, John Temple, to die altogether. This will allow the flames of the dynasty to perish in the dark. No, it will not be like this. Not today. Ethelred lowers his head, then sighs and locks eyes with you. His gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical. The ritual will not be completed. I will take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free of the warp. Watch over our realm, and farewell. Curse a traitor! A time will come when you will bleed for Her Ladyship Theodore's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches towards his death. What? Theodore is dead? No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't. Oh, that's interesting. So it wasn't him. No time to guess. He's still not stopping people. He gives him a big shove. Twisting and turning. Morphs into a chaos spawn. And he's like, peace out, mate. I ain't getting involved in this. Now, all the fights we've done so far have been quite easy. But in this fight in particular, the difficulty proper ramps up. So what I'm going to do, because I already know how to beat this guy, but I only beat him barely. Let's see if I can do that again. So what we're going to do is that we're going to form a front line here. And we're going to get a Battle Sister, and if I know what, we're going to swap these guys around. Are we? No, I have the Battle Sister on the left-hand side, just in case people are able to form up nearer and start the battle. So we need to kill all the ads, basically. This guy, when you hit him, he gets up to all sorts of shenanigans.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
And he can also feed on the other people.
I'll do it.
To regain some health. Which is not a vibe.
Justice for the weak.
Get him.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Not bad at all. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to focus. Also, when you hit him as well, if you hit him, he also gets up to no good. Let's just do singular shots at the moment, shall we? Be gone! Oh, never mind. And brace for impact. Allies from the 3 cell radius. We're all within 3. Well, one. Yeah, that works. So what, you can stand firm. You are holding that line, young man, and you can also have a reckless strike as well ready. Primed and ready. And that'll do it. That'll do. Right, and you best start giving everyone little gubbins like this. And send a brain thing down there. Down there. There we go, make him explode in the brain department. And that's it. Oh, lad, leave this man alone. He's taking too much in the way of punching at the moment. So now it's time for us. I guess we've got no other option other than to start bashing him. We're taking the damage a little bit. I think I've built my characters better this time, which is saying something. Right, so
Not a problem for me.
endure. Fight the power. Also gonna give him hell as well.
I can't do.
Oh, no, never mind, just knocked us over. Okay, that's not great. Oh, we're just gonna have to hit him, aren't we? Take him out one shot at a time. Shot on the run, give him another one. How do you miss? Oh, we still need to kill these other guys. Oh, never mind. The mutant will do that, I imagine. I hope, anyway. And battle him. What do you do? Grants momentum equal... Oh, we don't need more momentum. We don't need more momentum. That's not what we need. Right, so you, young man, you've got the power. You've got the keys. You've got the future. Give him a slice. Twice as nice. Give him a parry as well. And that's all I can do. Right, give more of this stuff to people. And then I'm going to save the special one for just in case. I can't shoot these guys neither. What if I move here? Can I hit you now?
That is not my destiny.
What about with this? Yes, I can hit you with that. Fine. I'll take that.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Wham. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Oh, there's more over here as well. You see what I mean? He eats a dude over there, now he's back to full health. Well, that's okay, we've got healing kits. John Temple, the healiest of healies,
Already done.
enduring all the battle damage, all the battle scarring. Alright, let us use our ability.
Enjoy your luck while you still draw breath.
Sigh. Okay, fine. Alright then. Right, so I guess I just gotta maneuver around then. Ah! Don't. Oh, you bugger. Why is everyone falling over? Not doing as well as I was hoping.
It will be done.
Right, empower yourself. And then strike him. The power of 1,000 white-hot suns.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. That is all I'm going to do. Right, we need an ability on... Oh, I can't activate on you because you're on the floor, apparently. Alright, so this is a good way to... So, I was going to explain this later, earlier on, but I'm going to explain it now. So one ability that adepts have is studying enemies, where I can study them and find out little weaknesses about them. I also have the option of exposing weaknesses, so I can remove one of these stacks and then just basically make them a little bit weaker. So also a little bit of damage as well. For reasons. Let's make me also, well, Iddy, a little bit safer from attacks as well. Why not while we're here? Oh, stop knocking her over. We need her for stuff. Right, no fancy stuff, I guess. I just need to start hitting him. I mean, he's eating that dude now, so I guess he's got no more... You got no more friends, have you? No more friends.
Martyrdom is an honor.
Such is there.
Oh, gosh. We are falling rapidly. But we must endure all the same. Right, can you heal yourself?
The healing is much appreciated.
Oh, that's not bad, actually. Can I heal the battle sister? Oh, I can't do it twice in a turn. Right, let's just hit him then.
Victory is in.
Strike him down. Hearken not the heretic or the blasphemer to live. Send in a brain thing.
Will do.
Also, bring out the scanners as well. Get that enemy nice and studied. Chaos Spawn, not sure what he's going to do with his own life. Take him down! Show him all your might, show him all your power.
At your beck and call.
Now it's just a case of how many times can we beat him up. Might throw up.
Someone else can.
Ah, I need to be standing next to you. Jeez Louise. Throw more warp at him. And then maybe, actually, can I swap over to a pistol?
I'm not so sure.
Would I need to reload it?
Not the Scryer's job.
So why can't I do that?
No can.
Oh, I've got no... Right, okay. Fair enough.
Stop mocking me.
Look at that. Now that we're parrying, now that we're actually being useful. I feel like Quasi came of being a bit like an off-tank with all this parrying going on.
Indeed.
You see what I mean? Like, the difficulty in the battle goes from, like, 0 to, like, 100, like, all of a sudden there. Alright, there we go. We've all leveled up, but I will do that in a bit. Any good stuff to take? We have got Mysterious Power Shard. Well, we'll just take you all. What are you? Can be equipped with Gloves of Endurance. Yes. Let's see. So I can't use that. I think that's a quest item, I assume. Unless that is like a...
That is not the Emperor's will.
Alright, fair enough. Calm down. When the wearer of these gloves gets injured or falls unconscious in combat, their allies gain 1 bonus to damage. Let's do that just because when if we die, then our dead beard should be able to inspire the masses. Even in death, we still serve. We have a auto pistol. We've already got auto pistol, so you can bump off. Got a bridge officer who kind of just sat there, minding his own business. Not trying to help her intervene. Come on. There we go. Alright, we've got the Master Helmsman, Ravor. Ravor, Master Helmsman, systems status report. By the Emperor, it's the Senet's Shal. Living and breathing. Wired man is sickly pale skin salutes you. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole palace, or whole place, is overgrown with foul wickedry. We'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's Sanctum. It is our only chance of escaping the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abe cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Radio the crew, prepare the translations for real space. Abe pauses for a second before turning to you. John Temple, you may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one here who speaks for House von Valankius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you more than anyone else deserve to take our place in the ritual that is about to commence. He directs your attention upwards to the throne that sits at the apex of the tallest staircase. Yeah, we can sit in the chair. But my goodness, it was Zinch all along. Crazy. Edge of daybreak. A vision of unimaginable vileness appears before your eyes. The flickering image shifts and wavers as if the azure feather creature is constantly changing while still remaining the same. One of his eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire, and the other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. His voice seems to seep directly into your brain, not ever reaching your ears. Mortal, who are you to oppose the very flows of fate? The creature bends its neck, studying you, but for a moment you feel as if it is wary of you. It matters not, your footfalls are an echo of the sand pouring between the scales. Your hopes and faith are my mockery. Never mind you big old bird. Be gone, phantom! The demon peers into you, your head begins to spin, your stomach turns, and viscous drops sliver down your cheeks. This shard of reality drifting through the domain, through my domain, is merely the arena for one who dared to vie for the favour of the gods. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, to procure that which elevates a mortal above others, a relic that would serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured and the steps chosen, and yet you broke the unbreakable. The aspirant was defeated and just gave birth to a new aspirant. Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I see you on the day when the final dawn rises over the mortal world, when the gates of the realm of the sorcerer open and set the truth free. I set you at my side, I rise again. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will guide you and your weapon and the weapon of our return. Blah 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 blah. Man, he waffles on about chaos and change, and it's just cringe. Tzeentch is cringe, I'm afraid. And he should be reminded of that every day. Revo turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a moment, then addresses Abe, who's standing next to you. Senis Shal, the Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal stable, which means... The Navigator gave his life battling the storm. That nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honour his memory along with that of all who died this day. Revo does not look away. He is giving you a hard stare, his white brows furrowed. Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain? It takes time for A to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens, and begins to speak. First Officer Abe Wersarian is authorized to inform officers. It is my greatest regret and indelible sorrow to inform you that of the untimely passing of the Lord Captain Fyodor von Valancius, rogue trader in the service of the Imperium. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty. After waiting for the first wave of shocked cries, Abelard glances at you and continues. By right of blood succession, with the absence of other kin who could challenge his decision, say nothing, just stalwardly accept it. I hereby declare that the successor of Fyodor von Valancius is John Temple von Valancius, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade and the title of rogue trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, Abe stops short and glares fiercely at the confused officers. Have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord! It's because of his toils that we are all still live. The deed is done, John Temple. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain. End dialogue. Look at that, I've got a promotion. Well done, us. After a hard day's graft. Hope we get a new hat for it. Always judge a man's worth by the size of the hat he wears. And there we go. Brighter day. It seems like they've done a bit of clean-up. Deep shadows of weariness can be seen on Abe's face. That through the old officer's eyes though the old officer's eyes are keen. They work over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, then nods to himself. Well then, your lordship. I was worried for a few hours there. Abe offered a thin smile. After witnessing you fearlessly rush into the fray on deck, the only thing that surprised me is how long you stayed on your feet. Your strength... Oh, I assumed that we must have collapsed or something. Your strength only left you once the fighting was all over. Such fortitude is most admirable in a Lord Captain. The medics only just saved you in time. Luckily, one of the healers remembered the existence of a long-forgotten augment station in storage. Oh, well, that's handy. The blessings of the Omnissiah saved your life. Some of your internal organs had to be replaced with implants. The good news is that you now have capabilities to install in augmentations of any complexity. I swear sometimes it seems new compartments spring up on the ship all of their own volition. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We have... Oh, God, do we have to do more reading? Look, right. Essentially, they're going to tell us how messed up the ship is. In fact, let's go for it now. Because I could basically break it down without having to read mountains of flipping scripts. So here they all are. They're all the lords and masters and stuff of the ship. We are currently on a very fancy chair, as you can see. It's quite nice. Yep, everyone's like, oh my goodness, we're all friends here. Hello, how are we all doing? He's going to introduce everyone. So, we've got the Vox Casterman, who's in charge of communications. We've got Helmsman, who got us... We saw the Helmsman before. And lastly, High Factorum. He oversees supplies. He's like a... He's in charge of... he's basically a posh chef, I guess. And the second row, we've got Master of Ordnance, Servitor, and some other dude. Thank you. Greetings to you all. It's a pleasure, my Lord Captain. And Fairness Master Report, what were you? There's fires everywhere, but they've been extinguished. That we need to fix the ship. The ship's badly damaged. Yeah, High Factorum. He's all like, we've got... What? Something about low... Oh, look, they can replace the crew members perfectly fine. It's just the trained individuals, like captains and stuff. So we could do some recruitment on some world, but because the world is owned by the Winterscale Rogue Trading Dynasty, might be a bit difficult. A little bit of argy-bargy there. Engine Master, the engines are like the Great Warp engine entrusted in charge unharmed. However, the problem is that they can't find a prayer to make it less sad, because the Chief Engine Seer is dead, which is a problem. So we need to find a new Engine Seer. Helmsman, he's doing fine. He's just like more or less sound. But they need a new Chief Engine Seer and a Navigator to be able to get back into the warp. So the shopping list expands. Something about there's like a Navis Nobilite station, but it's not responding to us. So it's Vox silent at the moment. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? And he's just all like, nah, we're cool, baby. We're maintaining the arsenal told when to fire, since we're not in combat at the moment. Whatever. Master of Ordnance, forget yourself, bearing in mind he's being a bit cheeky at the moment. And he says something along the lines of, so what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply, as if it's a dam burst inside and all his pent-up emotions are rushing out over him. The ship's in ruins. Every second officer's dead. And now we've got a Green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us into Void knows where. Silence! The bridge magnificent glass pane seems to tremble in the force of Abe's voice. Enforcers, siege this mutineer. So we've already got a mutiny on our hands. If only one officer out of the whole lot has fallen to pieces, then that's not bad at all. Your Lord, I do humbly apologise on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do with the Master of Ordnance, the former Master of Ordnance, I should say, besides find a better replacement, that is, for we already have one lined up. Oh, well, no drama in that case. Execute him with great impunity. Consider it done, take him away. No mutiny on my ship, young man. The brutal laughter of the Master of Ordnance reverberates around the bridge as he is led to his fate. Okay, so to summarise, we have sustained serious losses in crew members, which require a Chief Engine Seer and Navigator. Is this all that prevents us from continuing our voyage? Now, precisely, Lord Captain, but bear in mind that this will not be the end of our trials. The ship is in need of some serious repairs, which can only be carried out at the, football station, then. The Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. We will never reach Footfall without first solving these three immediate problems. So, crikey on a bikey, thank you all for everything. Goodbye, good night, see you all later. Like I said, the intro for this is very wordy. Blah, 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 blah. They're talking about some stuff, and they're all like... the letter that we found. Came across a strange handwritten letter. Something about that. Quite right, Exvia Xavier Calcaza. Wherever that guy is, we need to land on a place and find the Inquisition person. So we're going to do that. That's the plan. And thank you for the meeting. See you in a bit. But just when you think you're about to start playing the game, More people come along. Oh, we've got more text. Ah, blimmin', explain yourself. Oh, well, Psycha's gone a bit mental. She's having dreams. And the sister has got problems, but she can wait, thankfully. Come to your senses. What were you talking about? Oh, some dream. Something about a daybreak or a dawn or something. Which we know that because we saw the big chicken. So cheers for coming, guys. Bye-bye for now. Be gone, out of my sight. And, oh, breathe. Lord have mercy on my mortal soul. But there's elements of the game that are quite good, and I think that maybe it's just like text heavy at the beginning, and hopefully as the game goes on, there'll be like less of it. But we shall see. Role-playing RPG kind of stuff, there is usually a lot of story to go in there, isn't there? So yeah, if you want to see the rest of this game, I might not do the full playthrough just because it's only in beta at the moment. And I might want to play the full game out when it comes out proper. I might do like a chunk, maybe like a chapter's worth of stuff. So do let us know in the comments if you've survived through all that wall of text with me. Yeah, if you want it, just let us know in the comments. Or, I don't know, just tell me on the Discord, which, by the way, the Discord will be in the description below. And if you fancy supporting the channel, £1 a month is getting right into the game of Dawn of War a week. Something to take into consideration, if that is a vibe for you. I'm going to go because, Jesus Christ, that was I feel like I've been reading a small novel, a bit of War and Peace at the moment. So yeah, mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always, never chore. I will see you in a bit. Peace.